So in my last video, I was talking about the void and how miserable people have to take in energy from others in order to get a sense of a high, to make them feel like they're more that they're more connected to other people. Because misery loves company, that's what they say. And there's no other way of feeling like you're a part of something than having other people around you be on the same level as you. So, in your life, you really gotta do what you have to do in order to find yourself, and don't let anybody tell you what you should think and how you should act, and if you're weird because you like this and that. I mean, it's not right. You have to get away from those people because they're very toxic. Like, people may think like eating something bad or breathing in some toxic gas is toxic, but energies are toxic, people are toxic, and you don't want to live your life like that. You don't want to live a life of fear and no love in your life. But there's always hope, and even if you feel like you're at your darkest, most sinister place within your mind and your heart, because I've been there plenty of times before, where I felt as if I can't get out of here. Like it's just miserable. Um, you gotta find that help. You gotta find that spirit guide or that inspiration that you're looking for. If you don't continue to search for the positive, you'll never find it. The universe will see that you're in pain and and make necessary signs and guide you in the right direction, but you have to want it. You can't want to stay in your own space of negativity and negative energy. Um, so people with depression, like myself, don't sit around and wait until someone saves you. You have to go get help, and you have to do what you have to do. If you want to speak out about it, like, this is therapy for me right now. I'm like kind of nervous being outside talking about it, but this is my life, and it's time for me to start being brave and coming out with how I feel. People with depression need to get help, or talk to a friend or a family member that actually cares, or do what you have to do in order to survive, because we're all human beings, and human beings are creatures of light, and there's no reason why people should be in pain and suffering by themselves. That's the worst type of suffering, is just suffering by yourself with no help, with nobody to understand you or connect with you. There are people like myself that understand where you're coming from and appreciate the effort and the honesty. So if I could come outside and talk about depression, or if my neighbors are probably like, what the fuck? Like, you can get help too. So please use this as inspiration. I'm coming out slowly but surely about my social anxieties and my depression, and the void within my own heart, which I'm not the one to see others miserable, but I was in a very bitter place for quite some time now. But I found the light, and I found spirituality to help me. I found something. I finally found something, and it's changed my life. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about um, I'm talking about something real. Like, I connected back with myself spiritually. Like, I realized, where am I going and what am I doing? This isn't the correct path. And then the universe started sending me little signs for the right path. So you just have to sit down one day and think to yourself, is this my path? If it doesn't feel right, then it's most likely wrong. And you have to take time to meditate and look inside of yourself to find the right path. Because, like I said, if I can get outside in my backyard and talk about depression, knowing that people already know I'm weird, you can come out about depression too. I hope this video helps people. Please check out my artwork on my fan page on Facebook. It's Brooke Thorne. On Facebook, just type the name BROOKETHORNE. Um, the link will be on the bottom of the page, but I came out here today to show that I'm beginning to not be afraid anymore to speak about my life and my situations, and I know depression's hard. You can't wake up, you can't eat right, you can't sleep right, you can't, there's help, and you have to find a way. My outlet is art, and now it's video work. You have to find something. Everyone has to find something that they love about themselves before they can decide to fall in love with someone else. So, um, just even sitting in my backyard right now, like I haven't done this in a while. I'm so thankful to have the courage to come outside and talk about my depression and anxiety, even out in the open, even with my social anxieties telling me, like, people are probably going to think I'm weird talking into a camera. But these are the steps I have to take in order to make that transition to where I want to be, because I have to be a social being, because for my business and for my life. But as far as depression is concerned, you have to find yourself. You have to take a minute. You can't just say, oh, suppress my feelings, suppress my feelings, suppress my feelings all the time. Oh, I have to go to work, I don't have time to feel sad. It's like sadness won't just disappear. You have to tackle it when you can. Get some help, get some therapy help, post some videos on YouTube to get help some kind of way. There's nothing worse than being alone and sad and not have anybody to talk to. That's where people commit suicide, and they end up taking their life because they have nothing. They have no friends, they have no family, they don't have anyone that will sit down and take the time to understand what they're going through. Depression is not a joke. It's a serious thing. Even if it's something small, but I'm not talking about, oh, today I was going to work and I fell on the bus or something. I'm talking about some really deep-rooted issues that people do not take time, like, oh, I lost a family member, I didn't take time to grieve, I had to go to work. Stuff like that is like, it's really, really needs, you need time. I'm really enjoying the weather. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so tired of the cold weather. Just sitting in the sunlight, I'm getting so much energy from the sun. I'm not trying to convince people to get into New Age, hocus pocus bullshit, because I'm just telling people to take time to get healthy and right in the mind, because I don't want people to think like I'm one of those psychedelic New Age type of people that just want you to read this and read. No. Everybody's different. I'm not religious. I'm not defined by anything. I am just me. Whatever works for me, I'll share with everyone else, but it might not work for you. What works for me is the fact that I'm actually sitting out here talking to a camera and knowing that people are going to think something's wrong with me. Like, that is a big step. I'm in my backyard. I haven't sat in my backyard like this in like a while. I would like people to give me feedback as far as people going through depression and social anxiety on severe levels, like me, and post-traumatic stress. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress when I was in the hospital. I don't want to get into too many details, but I was in the hospital and I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. So I have post-traumatic stress, social anxiety, and the more technical term my therapist said was dysthymia, which is long periods of depression, but a mild depression. I can imagine someone else going through more agony than what because if sometimes it feels like agony, but now it's not so much depression, it's more of anxiety, like stress to pay the bills and stuff. But it's healthy stress. There's healthy stress and there's non-healthy stress, like stressing about I can't make it in this relationship. Stuff like that is not worth stressing about. So if you could take time just to go outside, sit in the park, go for a walk, even sit in your car and just have a moment with yourself. Because people might ask, well, Brooke, how do you, with all the depression stuff, how do you just get to a peaceful setting? It's like it takes practice and work. You can't just be like, okay, all my depression's gone because I started meditating one day. No, it's gradual. Just like how depression is gradual, you have to gradually every day take time to figure out what the root of the problem is. Like, remember back to your childhood, like, oh, that person said this to me, this is why I feel this way about myself right now. You have to really go back Oh my God, there's a B. You really have to go back to the roots. That's why origins are very important. Very, very important things. Um, in the heart. Get away from the computers. Trust me, I understand. I'm always on the computer because I have video, art, Photoshop, all these things to do. Get away from the computers, get away from the cell phones, get outside and get some air. You know, get some help. Do not sit there by yourself like no one understands me. Trust me, I understand. And if other people want to respond to my video, and be brave enough to come forward and say, hey, I have depression and social anxiety, I like to talk about it, feel free, because this is the first time I'm really coming out with it on a very deep level, and I'm really enjoying the sunlight right now. It's amazing to just sit out here and get away from the computer screens and stuff. So no new age bullshit, no anything, just whatever you can do to get to see who you are, not the representation of yourself when you go to work, not someone you try to be. Who are you? Look into your origins, look into your family, like see who you are, and then things will start to make sense, and then the universe will send you information, and you will decode it properly. You'll start picking up on signs like, oh, you know, I'm an artist, I found a pencil on the ground, a really nice expensive pencil out of nowhere, like stuff like that. Like, oh, it's just a coincidence that there were so many crazy coincidences with me, as far as, oh, I couldn't find a way to pay bills, and then I put a Craigslist ad of 5 months ago up, and some client just hit me up at random. It's like, yeah, I got a job for you. That's how serious it is. You have to pay attention to the signs. But more videos coming soon. There's a lot of bugs out here, but bye. I'm really happy that everyone took the time to look at my videos, and thank you for everything. Like, I say that from the heart. I know that sounds cheesy and stuff, but thanks. Like, thanks for the support. I really needed it. Damn, this thing. Hold on. This thing's clicking and clacking. Damn, I can't even fix this. Okay. Thank you for taking the time. This has been really tough for me to come out, but I think it's about time I come out, because, you know, it's now or never. I can't hide and do what I gotta do.